The problem with nipple piercings is I feel like if you ever if you accidentally took one and you're like got caught in your tooth or whatever, like or in your teeth, like couldn't you like rip the piercing out or something? I don't know. It just seems weird. Nipples are like fun to play with and touch, but like with the metal thing there, it seems like it would be really difficult to do that. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never seen one in person before, so I can't really say.
Girlfriend of almost 6 years left me. At least this subscription will last. DeFellas.
If I were to ever do a content cop, it would be on Thorin's retweets. And it would be with the... Never mind. It would be on Thorin's retweets, though. I do think that Thorin is legitimately racist. Based on the personal stories that Richard Lewis told me in Vegas when he was still my friend about Thorin being racist to people backstage. And then based on the things that Thorin retweets. Who's that Michelle person on Twitter that Thorin retweets all the time? What is her? She's like legitimately like... I'm not going to be able to just Google it. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? Who's the Michelle person on Twitter that Thorin retweets somewhat frequently or every now and then? Who's like, I think legitimately like a racist, maybe a Nazi? I'm not sure if they're a Nazi or not. I don't think they are. They don't teach anti-Jew propaganda at school. Where the fuck are people finding this stuff? I don't know. It's the internet. You can find anything you want.
Play Shadow of Mordor.
Do you think Richard Lewis is, or is he just a useful idiot? I don't think Richard Lewis is genuinely racist. He doesn't, or at least in all the personal conversations with him, he's never come off as genuinely racist to me. Richard Lewis comes off as like a Sargon of Akkad type. Thorin, I think Thorin is genuinely racist. I think Thorin is much more intelligent than Richard Lewis. I don't think Richard Lewis is genuinely racist. Thorin probably is, though, and they have like kind of like a pinky in the brain thing going on where Thorin will always be of the same opinion as Richard Lewis, and Richard Lewis will always have the same opinion as Thorin. So if Thorin is like blatantly racist, Richard Lewis will find ways to like defend him and back him up. But why did me and Richard Lewis fall out? After the JonTron thing, Richard Lewis was needling me and poking me. I made a huge like 3-hour video on this, so it's kind of shitty. I should have separated the video out into multiple small ones. I'm not playing Nier Automata.
Play Nier.
Oh, Michelle Catlin? Yeah, maybe her. If I see her, oh, that's her, I think. Yeah, this person. She tweets some pretty racist shit every now and then. Right, she was tweeting about that Swedish cultural person who's like, she's not even Swedish because she was black, even though she had a Swedish parent who was like, whatever. But what happened to me and Richard Lewis? Fuck, what was I answering? Oh, I forgot now. Richard hated you long before JonTron? I don't think so. I'll get Nipple Pierce here trying my TwitchCon. Nice, man. So what happened with Richard Lewis was he came out and implicitly defended JonTron by being a dishonest piece of shit, saying things like, "Oh, JonTron misspoke. JonTron got baited." He was also retweeting a lot of people that were attacking me. He was retweeting things from that Chris Dipshit gun, and then from I think a couple other people. But yeah, he was doing that. And then eventually I think I was playing Minecraft. I started talking about how like Richard Lewis is like, it's kind of strange that he defends white nationalists. And then somebody clipped that. And then Richard Lewis went fucking crazy and then removed me, or I think he blocked me on Twitter. And then he started like mad shit talking to me. Like he went full overboard, but he was already really angry with me after the JonTron thing. But the ironic thing was that like a few months earlier, like we had just hung out in Vegas. Like I went into his suite and we chatted for a bit and we hung out that night. But yeah, he got like really fucking mad. On a tangent, how did the scrap with you and Katz turn out? I don't remember what happened where me and Katz got... What happened? Oh. I don't know. I feel like we've talked about this a lot before. You said recently you tried to get dirt on you. What was that about? I'll tell you maybe in a year or something. Ask me. He tried to do some stuff to get me, to hurt my career. He was really fucking mad. But, yeah, I don't know. I think he's fucked off for now. He made a video about it, or it's on YouTube. It might be on YouTube. But basically, I think Katz is a cool dude, and for the most part, we were cool. I just got a little bit miffed that that whenever I had serious problems in StarCraft 2, he would never put himself out for me. That's kind of selfish for me to expect. But I mean, I was always on route, and I never got paid for it ever. I was there to help them generally. But I kind of got a little bit miffed that whenever I needed a lot of help in StarCraft, he would always peace out immediately. to try to save like really shitty sponsors like Rush Order Teas and stuff. So that kind of irritated me. And then I think I mentioned that kind of recently, and then we got like into a fight over that or something, and then I think we don't like each other anymore or something like that. I think, I don't know. I remember back you had a Total Biscuit Skype message. Oh, I don't know. Total Biscuit messaged me a while ago, and he said something like, "Oh, by the way, I've got you muted on Twitter because I don't ever want to whatever." So I don't know. It was about him attacking Summit over something. I don't remember. Katz's story is different. Do you want to watch his response? I feel like I would cringe watching anything from my personal life, but I can probably guess what Katz's response is. Katz's response is going to be something like, "Oh, well, I was there when Destiny was, when we went to Utah and Destiny got too drunk and got, really depressed. Like, I was there with Destiny there." Like, so anytime he could be there for me when it wouldn't cost him anything, he was always there. Like, I'll definitely say that for sure. But, yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I think Total Biscuit was defending stream sniping or something. That's exactly the shit he said. Oh, well, no, there you go. Stop cutting lines with people. One argument isn't worth losing a friendship over. I've built, dude, my bridge connection right now is crazy. I've got so many connections right now. I've built a lot of bridges compared to a long time ago. The only bridges I've burned are bridges that aren't really worth much to me, or bridges that kind of inevitably had to be burned. Like, I can't do anything with Richard Lewis. Like, that shit is crazy. I'm not going to associate with Thorin. Like, I'll lose opportunities because of that. That's fine. Like, Thorin is a massive piece of shit, like, legitimately abhorrent human being. And then Richard Lewis is kind of like the pinky to his brain that just sits there and parrots it all. So, I mean, I don't really care burning bridges with either of those two losers. And then, I mean, the Katz thing is kind of sad. I guess I don't really, like, personally hold it against him or anything, but understandably, he's really offended about my opinion of everything that happened. So, I mean, I can kind of understand that, but... But I think for the most part, I'm pretty decently connected compared to where we used to be. Not as well as like the top Twitch streamers yet, but... Are you going to get H-Bomber guy on stream? Maybe. We just don't really have anything to talk about, I don't think. What is that? What just happened? Wait, what was that? Oh, did my troops just get back, maybe? Oh, yeah. Admin quests. Oh, yeah, give me all... Oh, yeah, Oh, click the buttons. Oh, God, it feels so good. Who opened those doors, or was it just going out and meeting them in real life? I don't know. It depends on who it was. Some people I just did, like, business meetings with at a TwitchCon. Lily connected me with all the CLG guys. That's huge. I get to stay at the CLG house again when I go down and visit. That's like $1,000 in hotel costs. Gary I found. Gary is a god. I'm so lucky, dude, that I found Gary. Holy shit. I get really lucky with the people that I find sometimes. Scene and Standpet for my website, and now Gary for the YouTube shit. Gary is a literal fucking god. Oh, and now the VGA. The reason why I got this Eve deal was because the video game attorney guy works as an exclusive agent sometimes, and he hooked me up with this Eve deal, which is a lot of money. I wish I would have went to Vegas. I fucked up. I can't believe I thought it was the next day. I probably could have met more people there, but yeah, the VGA guy hooked me up with that deal because I rebuilt my bridge with him, so there you go. How are you and VGA friends now? Because we had a conversation. What is his actual name? A conversation with Ryan Morrison. Look, and we were friends at the end of it. Oh, and technically I rebuilt this bridge because of CLG. Because Devin knew Ryan Morrison like really well, so he kind of convinced me to have a conversation with him. And I respect Devin's opinion. I'll take his opinion on things verbatim. So yeah, so I guess in a roundabout way it's because of Lily. Which in a roundabout way is because of Binge HD, I guess. That's pretty memey. So the only reason that I reconnected with Lily, I met her once a long time ago because we were at the University of Washington together for some speech because I got invited by some league guys to do something there. And then Binge HD invited me to go to Taiwan to do some stuff. And then when I went to Taiwan, that's when I found out that Lily was there, and then we reconnected there, and then she hooked me up with CLG, and then we're friends with the VGA guy now. Wow, there you go. So there you go. It's Binge HD, I guess at the end of the day, is the guy that we can. And we met Earthbender Charlie there too. Hell yeah. Oh, who I think we're seeing at TwitchCon, I think. I think you should repair your relationship with JF. I try to take something from every person that I argue with, and I think I got a lot of very valuable stuff from JF. I think that we got a lot farther in terms of our understanding of philosophy with JF, and that helped me structure a lot of my other thoughts. But JF is so dishonest that I don't know. I don't know. Maybe someday, maybe in the future, but I'm not sure. But JF comes across to me as like being really intellectually dishonest, and that really bothers me. Yeah, I don't know. Poor Aslan has a cold. I can hear him meowing upstairs. How burnt is the Richard Lewis bridge? It's forever burnt, as long as he's friends with Thorn. I don't think he's ever reconnecting there. Richard Lewis is pretty lost into that right wing bullshit. Your bridge burning with TB seemed to be like it was over some pretty insignificant shit. I don't remember what had happened over. TB always like sort of kind of reaches out to me and then he like backs off. So I don't know. Total Biscuits kind of got like
Destiny, I want to see you debate someone about the classic right-wing conspiracy regarding the mainstream media.
Maybe. Total Biscuit has like Total Biscuit has like a lot of emotional related stuff over dealing with like fan bases and hate and whatnot, which I totally empathize with and understand. So yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like you wanted to get on the co-op podcast, and the 2 times you brought it up, he just yeah, he seems like he's pretty against me being on it based on some things I've read him say. So I don't know. I mean, it's all it is what it is. He defended stream sniping not because he disagrees with you, but because he hates Summit and Joshua G. Yeah, possibly, sure. Why do you hate Thorin so much? Because I'm pretty sure he's racist, and he's like hardcore dug into that kind of like that very weird anti-SJW mindset. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't want to say alt-right because I don't know if that would apply to him or not.
I'm sorry to hear Aslan has a cold. Here, buy him a hot cocoa with this donation.
Bunty apologized here. Yeah, I saw it earlier. I don't give a fuck. Bunty's a fucking idiot. I'm not apologizing for that. He's genuinely a fucking moron. So if he's looking for an apology, if he becomes not a moron, then I'll rescind it, I guess. But until that happens, I mean, like, he's a fucking idiot. A useful idiot, too. It's very, very, very awesome to have a brown person to sit on the other end, to sit there and defend, like, literal fucking Nazi propaganda. So, no, I have no respect for that Bunty dude. That guy's a fucking moron. He's probably only apologizing now because he's watched so much of the Buddha shit that he's like, oh, fuck. He's like, oh, shit, this guy's, like, actually a fucking Nazi. Like, oh, God, maybe I shouldn't have. Nah, fuck Bunty. I don't like that dude. That guy's a moron. Would you go on the Co-op Show podcast if I'm invited? I probably would, just for the exposure, because there's so many people there, right? Where did Minigun go? I think Minigun's trying to do school again. One of the big problems that Minigun had, I don't know if he talks about it a lot, so I feel a little awkward bringing it up, but one of the big problems that Minigun has is that his Crohn's, like, is kind of fucked him for going to live events. Like, it gives him a lot of social anxiety and whatnot. Crohn's is, like, a really fucked disease to have. I feel really bad for people that have to suffer with it. Nobody ever seems to talk about it at all either. I don't know how common it is, but depending on the severity, like, yeah, Crohn's is, like, really, really, really horrible. After you had that long talk with Thorin, you said he wasn't a racist. What made you change your mind? Did I say that after that long talk? I don't remember. I thought we were kind of cool. I don't even know if we were cool after the talk because Thorin kept like wanting to dive back into shit from like 5 years ago. It was a really awkward conversation. I'm still kind of bamboozled by that conversation. Jesus. Thorin, I don't think this or this. Okay, but what about that one time? Remember 4 years ago when we were on that show? And it's like, okay, Thorin, this isn't like anything I do. Okay, well, how can you expect me to watch all your stuff? It's like, well, okay, I guess I don't expect that. That's not fair, sure. He's like, okay. Well, what about this one time 3 years ago when you said, it's like, okay, dude, I don't know. I guess I was kind of dumb. It's like, okay. So I don't really think this or this, you know, you understand that, right? Okay, well, what about this one time when you tweeted at me 4 years ago? And it's like, okay, dude, like this, like we did that for like 3 hours, literally. It was a 3-hour talk of going back about everything that I said like 4 or 5 years ago. Yo, try to bait Jeff onto the stream, guys. Respond back to...
I understand that maybe you have some difficulty understanding... Hey, Anonymous Rat, how you doing? Listen, I understand that maybe you have some difficulty understanding the English language, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and slow things down for you and make it very, very easy for you. Hello, Anonymous Rat. I was defending his character based on previous discussions I had with him. In these discussions, I asked him questions that related to things that are of value to me. I then used his responses to establish a judgment on character.
I agree, but you can't change the sentiment of ideologies with argument. Destiny got destroyed many times, and he hasn't changed one bit. What? Name one time where I got destroyed and didn't change my opinion afterwards. What are you talking about? I know he won't because he is an idiot that doesn't understand real science. I've spent 12 years in uni and can back it up, but he's an idiot. Raffle chapters, 12 years in uni? Doing what? What? Yo, if you want to hop onto Discord, Raffle, we can chat, buddy. This is why I don't read Twitch chat. Martin Shkreli destroyed you? Why do people keep saying this? Me and Martin Shkreli shot the shit for like 2 hours. Did you watch the conversation? We literally talked about nothing for like 2 hours. I don't know where this meme comes from. That's one of the few that I actually don't know where that meme comes from. I think it came from Kotaku in Action. I usually know where most of the insults about me come from. I think that really got big on when the Kotaku in Action thread started getting posted. Shkreli never destroyed me in any conversation. We had like a minor disagreement in the beginning over whether there were medicines to treat ASD, which I thought there weren't, which by the way, there are not. Shkreli was misrepresenting himself pretty hard there. And then I think I learned something about like using HGH to make kids grow taller when they were kids, but we didn't have any serious disagreements about politics or anything at all. It was literally a 2-hour conversation where we just shot the shit. Like, that's it. I don't understand where this like Shkreli destroyed you meme came from. It comes from him correcting you the initial thing about autism. Yeah, but again, he was wrong in what he said. Like, He was trying to make the argument that there were drugs that treat ASD. There's not. There are drugs that help you manage the symptoms of ASD, but there is no drug to cure ASD. I felt pretty strongly about that, but I told him that I'll defer to you because you're obviously the medical dude. You know more about it than I do, but there are not drugs that treat ASD. Only drugs that manage the symptoms. Yeah, no, fuck off. I feel like most of the people that say that shit have like never watched the conversation. Speaking of conversation, oh, I'll upgrade our castle. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be the biggest guy in my whole guild. Fuck these other shitters, dude. He tried to low-key fuck with you and people thought that he got memed on. Yeah, so this is what I think happened during the conversation, and maybe it sounds pretty arrogant to put it this way, but I think it's a fair reading. I'm pretty sure that what happened, debate some black guy, I don't think that piece of shit will ever come on and talk to me. He's a fuckboy and he knows it, and he's a fucking idiot and he knows it. He'll never come and talk to me. He has to stay inside of his very, very little tight hug box because he knows he's a fucking idiot. But I'm pretty sure that what happened with the Shkreli convo was Shkreli thought that I was another Twitch retard. He thought that I was going to be a fucking moron. And then after chatting for like 20 or 30 minutes, he's like, oh, okay, maybe Destiny isn't a total fucking retard. So then we just kind of shot the shit for the next hour or two. I'm pretty sure that's how that conversation went. That's why he started out trying to fuck with me. But I think he probably figured, oh, okay, maybe he's kind of a reasonable person. We can have a chat. And at the end of the conversation, he said that he said we'd like to chat again in the future. Maybe he didn't know he'd be going to prison, but yeah, like, I'm friends with him on Skype. Fuck off. He literally said we should chat once a month or so. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Come on, Jeff. You keep replying late as fuck to Jeff? No, it wasn't. My last tweet was like within a couple minutes, wasn't it? You sounded really autistic at first. You said, I value intellectuality above all else, and that's why you voted Hillary. It just sounded very milady. I mean, I guess it does, but like anytime I try to challenge anybody on that, nobody, like, I'll put the challenge at again. Aaron's mom got really mad at me for this. But like, if anybody can find me any video of Trump speaking, like within the past 3 years and sounding smart, I mean, I'll rescind that statement that Trump is a total fucking idiot. Like, intellectually, like, Hillary was much, much, much more intelligent than Trump. I mean, I don't think that's really up for debate. If anybody has like a video of Trump speaking about like foreign policy or domestic policy or taxes and sounding very intelligent, do you think him going to jail over memeing Hillary was justified? Wait, what? Help us diagram this sentence by Donald Trump.
Having nuclear. My uncle was a great professor.
Having nuclear. All right, here we go.
Having nuclear. My uncle was a great professor and scientist and engineer, Dr. John Trump at MIT. Good genes, very good genes, okay? Very smart. The Wharton School of Finance, very good, very smart. You know, if you're a conservative Republican, if I were a liberal, if I ran as a liberal Democrat, they would say I'm one of the smartest people anywhere in the world. It's true. But when you're a conservative Republican, they try, oh, do they do a number? That's why I always thought of, went to Wharton, was a good student, went there, did this, built a, you know, I have to give my like credentials all the time because we're at a little disadvantage. But
the robot lady resistance is looking for information really on where Destiny is keeping the real. Easy. Robot lady, do not be tricked by this blocked nose-sounding imposter. Do not submit. Rise up. Bring back robot lady. Hashtag not my robot lady.
And it's not as important as these lives are. Nuclear is so powerful. My uncle explained that to me many, many years ago. The easy credentials all the time. Because we're at a little disadvantage. But you look at the nuclear deal, the thing that really bothers me, it would have been so easy, and it's not as important as these lives are. Nuclear is so powerful. My uncle explained that to me many, many years ago, the power, and that was 35 years ago. He would explain the power of what's going to happen, and he was right. Who would have thought? But when you look at what's going on with the 4 prisoners, now it used to be 3.
To be honest, you
Now
have
it's
to
4.
be very smart to understand the subtle
and even
jokes of the
now,
Rocket Man.
I would have said it's all the
Mean
messenger.
trumped.
Fellas, and it is fellas because, you know, they haven't figured that the women are smarter right now than the men, so, you know, it's going to take them about another 150 years. But the Persians are great negotiators. The Iranians are great negotiators. So, and they just...
Destiny, listen to yourself talk to Martin about autism drugs. How can you think you are correct here? He says there are drugs to treat ASD, and you reuse that word treat, not cure. There are drugs to treat ASD, but there aren't drugs that treat ASD. Where I would need like a medical dude to talk about this. Maybe my terminology is wrong, but I feel like that what you would use is you would say that there are drugs that can manage the symptoms of ASD. We don't have anywhere near as much. So, okay, let me talk a little bit about my understanding of autism, okay? And then you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. This is where my foundation of this idea comes from, okay? Autism, do you think that treat equals cure? Okay, stop. Okay, let's back up for a little bit. Autism is not very well understood, okay? It's a very, very, very complicated collection of things that we kind of categorize as being a disease, but we don't understand it very well. So what do I say what do I mean when I say we don't understand it very well? So autism might be one degree, or it might be one disease. It might be a collection of diseases. We don't really understand the underlying mechanisms that cause people to be autistic. We just kind of know that treating the symptoms is treating the illness. No, you're wrong. Hold on. What? I can't even believe you'd say something that retarded. But autism is something that we just don't have a really decent understanding of. That there's like a really like the questions surrounding it are very confusing. That people don't understand where it comes from, why it is the way it is. So we have like a collection of traits that we assign to people that we believe to be autistic. And then we try, and then there are some symptoms of autism that can be managed with medication, right? I wish I could remember offhand what these are, but like depending on your level of autism, there are physiological things that that manifest in people with autism that can be treated or managed with drugs, right? So with that understanding, assuming that what I'm saying is true, okay, if you believe that, and if you don't, we can talk about that. Assuming that what I'm saying is true, you would never say that like, well, you're going to use this drug to treat autism, right? Because we don't even really know what autism is. You can use drugs that manage the symptoms or that treat the symptoms, but you would never give a drug for autism, right? I know you're doing memes right now, but are you offline on Skype? I tried to send you something. I'm online on Skype. I just got a message from Mr. Mooten. What is this? Oh, so these are some of the drugs that treat the... Being a neural disorder, autism cannot be treated through medicines. Medical practitioners use drugs in cases of autism solely to treat and manage symptoms. 5 major drug categories are regularly used for symptomatic treatment. SSRIs, an antipsychotic, anticonvulsants. Oh, because some people with autism will have like the fucking seizures and shit or crazy shit. Ritalin for other, sure. So let's listen to this. Maybe I wasn't correct.
I was developing drugs for autism spectrum disorder. It's serious illness.
So like this doesn't make sense. So what he's saying, and again, so if I'm having a conversation with somebody that's more informed than me, I'll always back down because I'm not an expert and I totally acknowledge that. But what he's saying here is just wrong. He wasn't developing drugs to treat autism spectrum disorder. He's just not.
Millions of people, and I just don't like.
Wait, how can you treat something like ASD with drugs? So I asked him this: how do you treat ASD with drugs? Which is a valid question because I'm curious.
Treat any illness with drugs.
Well, that's a non sequitur. How do you treat any illness with drugs? We don't understand ASD as an illness. Like we don't even know if it's one or a collection of illnesses. Depends on the type of illness.
Sure. I'm sorry, I'm missing your point.
I wasn't under the impression that ASD was something that was actually treatable. Like shortness isn't something that you can treat with a drug.
Sure. That's totally true, false as well.
So apparently for shortness, I guess if you have kids, I guess you can pump them up with HGH, or he was claiming that, and then you can make some kids taller. I didn't look that up to see if that was true or not, but I don't know how long we talk about the HGH thing.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's probably just my thing.
Hold on, wait, do you have a link to
this? Sounds like a really semantic argument. If a tree fall, but it's, I don't know. Never mind. Yeah, I guess I don't think it's a semantic argument at all. But I guess. I don't think it's a semantic argument at all. If somebody says, DG3 in this bitch, DG2 customers can't speak, can't compete. Nice name. So like, let's say that you had, an infection in your body. Okay. Let's say that you had an infection. Let's say you had like pneumonia, and somebody gives you, like an anti-nauseous medicine, right? Would anybody say that like that medicine is treating your pneumonia? Like, oh, here's a treatment for your pneumonia. They would say like, well, no, here, we can't really treat the pneumonia. We have to wait for it to pass, but we can give you a medication for the nausea. Does that make sense? Or if you take like a painkiller for like, if you've got like influenza and somebody gives you something for your fever, they would never say like, oh, well, here, this will help. This is a treatment for the influenza. They wouldn't say that. They would say like, well, here's something that will help the symptom of having like a flu, like a high temperature, right? Destiny, your arguments here are either semantically picky or just wrong. We treat plenty of things without knowing how they work, and treat doesn't always mean cure. 4th year med student here. Please stop this. Okay, Mad Dog West, get on Discord. Doesn't Tylenol treat headaches? It doesn't prevent or cure them, but by treating the symptoms, it treats the... Well, but headache isn't an illness. A headache is a symptom. A headache is a manifestation of a... Like, it's... Right? Like, I don't think anybody has, like, the disease of headaches. Does that make sense? Like, if you had... if you had the flu and you had a headache, and somebody gave you, like, a medication, like a Tylenol, they wouldn't say, well, here's a Tylenol to treat your flu. Right? They would say that, like, this is a Tylenol that treats, you know, the symptom of having a headache, right? All right, what's up, buddy?
What's up, my dude?
Okay, so you would agree with the statement that there are drugs that treat ASD? You think that's, like, an okay statement to make because there are drugs that manage some of the symptoms, or?
What you're saying is, like I said, it's pretty semantically picky, right? So in some ways, no, we don't have like a cure, but again, there are plenty of things.
I'm not talking about a cure. I just mean, I understand. I'm not saying a cure. I'm not saying that in order to treat something, it has to be a cure. I'm just saying that it just seems strange to say that there are drugs that treat ASD when we don't even really understand what ASD is, and we just have drugs that manage some of the symptoms.
Right, but again, there are plenty of things that we treat that we don't actually know how they work. We know that we have a class of drugs. For example, so you mentioned, you pulled up the article that said anticonvulsants for ASD. Mm-hmm. I don't know that we're using anticonvulsants necessarily for seizure, like prophylaxis inherently, but anticonvulsants, for whatever reason, do a lot of weird shit that just happen to also help with a bunch of like neurocognitive disorders. We give them for all kinds of things. Sometimes we use them for depression, even though that has nothing to do with actual seizures. So even though we don't understand necessarily the actual biochemistry of why this works, it still can be used to treat it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Is that, you're saying, well, not cured or not, I guess, specifically targeted towards autism, therefore not a treatment. When in reality, again, there are plenty of things that aren't targeted and that don't provide cures that we still call treatments, right?
I guess if somebody says to me, and maybe this is because I'm not a med student, if somebody says to me that like I'm developing a treatment for ASD, that doesn't sound to me like you're developing something to manage one of the symptoms. That sounds like you're developing some sort of some type of medication that actually treats like the underlying condition. That's what that statement sounds like to me. Do you think that's an unfair assessment of that statement?
I don't think so entirely. And full disclosure, I don't know like all of Shkreli's like, phase 1 drug trials, and second disclosures that I'm doing OBGYN and not neurology. But the point is that if you say you're developing a drug to treat ASD, I think maybe he was being a little dishonest. But again, if there are drugs that have nice off-target effects that are being studied to treat ASD, I don't know that he's inherently lying, right? If he has a drug that just happens to have a nice off-target and they try to get it like FDA approved for that, then I think you can give him the benefit of the doubt on that. But again, I don't know his full like line of drugs. I know he's kind of a shitter sometimes about denying drugs.
Sure. I'm trying to think of like an OBGYN related example.
That's all good, minded. So for example, in OBGYN, we use, and this might actually end up making you sound a little more correct, but I'll give it to you anyway. Deliveries, sometimes we use Foley catheters, like the same catheters that you use for urine. We place those within the uterus to help progress the delivery. Is a Foley catheter, FDA approved for deliveries? No, but we use it for that. So is it a treatment? I mean, kind of not. I mean, and it kind of depends, I guess, on where you draw the line. But again, I think I feel like you're drawing a little bit of a hard line, and maybe everyone else is drawing a little bit more of a relaxed line on what is a quote unquote treatment.
Yeah, I guess it's just the distinction I'm drawing is that if you have like an underlying, there are like so it seems that sometimes you have an underlying condition, right? And that oftentimes, you have an underlying thing. I call it a condition. I don't know if that's right, but like it could be like a viral infection or a bacterial infection or some or an underlying condition, right? And that sometimes we treat that thing directly. So like an example of this would be, let's say that you have influenza, right? So a direct treatment of this would be something like an antiviral drug.
Tamiflu.
Right? Sure. So that would be like
Tamiflu, but
sure.
Yeah,
so that would be like an actual treatment for influenza. Like this would be something that is targeting the influenza. But something like an anti-nauseous medication, or an anti like a painkiller or whatever, like ibuprofen or Tylenol. These things wouldn't necessarily be treatment for influenza, but they would be things to manage the symptoms. So like if somebody said like I am inventing a treatment for influenza, I guess like my go-to there wouldn't be like, here's something that helps you manage pain, but something that like targets influenza would be my kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. Or sorry, go ahead.
Well, you gave that example with pneumonia, and it's pretty similar, right? I mean, would we say that, giving antiemetics is a treatment for pneumonia? I mean, not really, because you really need to treat the infection. And you made that point, and I agree with you. But with like neurocognitive disorders, the symptoms oftentimes are the main manifestation of the disease, right?
What do you mean by that?
With pneumonia, and it's tough to use this as a direct example because, again, when you say antibiotics, you mean cure, right? So, and I'm not like discrediting you. That's I think a problem with the comparison. But if, for example, if you have a seizure disorder, and I give you anticonvulsants, which again I realize are a direct treatment for that, if those stop your seizures or at least prevent you or lower your threshold from having them, is that a treatment? I mean, the main problem with the seizure itself is that you are manifesting the seizures. The main problem with autism is that you're manifesting with these symptoms of autism. So if I treat the symptoms, and you manifest less of those symptoms, is that not a treatment?
I guess my big issue here is that like I can understand what you're saying. I guess my big thing here is that I wish that Shkreli would have just clarified that immediately, because I feel like it's pretty obvious what I'm getting at in the conversation. So he says I'm creating treatments for ASD, and then I go, oh really? I didn't know that you could treat ASD. And then instead of being like, okay, well, I'm talking about managing the symptoms, he just kind of like double downs on that, and I feel like it's really ambiguous at that point. I guess I can see what you're saying though. And that you're saying
that's probably why you backed off somewhat later on. I think is
sure, maybe, yeah. I think he did later in the conversation. But so you're saying that anything that treats the root cause wouldn't be called a treatment; that would be called like a cure, then, right? So like
again, I think the word just is versatile. I think that you're making it a little too narrow. This is just a purely like semantic thing, but and I don't know. There's like a medical definition.
Sure. Well, so like the reason why, so the words themselves, I guess, might be semantic, but I feel like the distinction is really important because if somebody was coming out with a new, so like if you have, let's say we have two different treatments for ASD, okay, and one treatment is something that will help you with your convulsions or help you with your ADHD or some other manifestation of autism, and the other treatment is something that can target a process in the brain and change it, that's something that actually creates autism, that these two treatments are very, very, very different things. Like, and that I don't know, worthy of different words or different, like a totally different structure would be used. Like you wouldn't say, oh, these are both ways to treat ASD. Like the distinction would be, well, one just treats the symptoms of ASD and the other actually like targets the root cause of ASD. But I guess you're saying that people would use treatment for both and then you would just further distinguish it with another sentence or something?
Tough with ASD because, again, a lot of the other examples we give, the symptoms that we were managing that you wouldn't call like a treatment, again, pneumonia was a great one. We wouldn't call like anti-nausea meds, or I don't know if you would even call like a cough suppressant, something that treats pneumonia. But that's because so many of the symptoms of the pneumonia are kind of tertiary to the root cause. Whereas with autism, I mean, a lot of those things are manifested directly as social problems, for example, which can be better managed. Even again, with these drugs, do not directly treat it. We would say, oh yeah, we can help treat your autism. We're not going to cure it, but there are some treatments that have been found to be useful. And again, it depends on where you define the line of what a quote unquote treatment is. But I think Skrillex was being a little dishonest when he said he had a treatment, and I think you were being a little too stingy with the use of the word.
All right, sure thing, buddy.
That's just me.
I can understand it. So if you're treating a root cause, you would say that this is like a cure. Then you think that would be like a more like I've developed something that will cure autism or something would be a more accurate way of saying you're treating like the root thing that causes autism.
Cure or a treatment is fine either way, but when you say treatment, I mean it's always worth clarifying, like you did with Martin,
whether you're treating the symptoms of the root.
Exactly. Whether this thing is, are you going to reverse this disease? Oh no, okay. Well, you're going to manage some symptoms. That's a little different than a true cure. Sure.
Gotcha. Okay, buddy. Well, thanks a lot. Good luck in your. Why do you want to be an OBGYN?
I never thought I wanted to, and I got a bunch of cringy shit in chat. Thanks, boys. But I don't know. I basically ruled it out. I got into it and found that it was a good mix of being in the clinic, being in the operating room. Deliveries are great. You get to do preventative health. You get to do all the cool things, man.
All right. Well, cool. Well, hey, good luck, buddy. You do residency next year?
Yeah, hopefully, if I can get an interview start like soon. So if I can get a job, that'd be pretty sweet.
When is your what state do you work in?
Or I'm in the South-ish.
In the South-ish.
I don't want to say it specifically, but
okay.
I'll tell you in a few months after I get my job where I'm from.
All right. Well, if I get anybody pregnant, I'll come to you and you can deliver them. Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right. Have fun. Thanks, buddy.
Later, my dude.
All right. Oh, okay, hold on. Somebody donated. North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen. He has been very threatening beyond a normal state. They will be met with fire, fury, and frankly, the power of the likes of which, I don't know what, was this like a Trump quote or?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
What's up, Twitch chat?
Shut the fuck up, Mr. Merton.
Every night I feel my leg.
I'm like their fucking hero.
My arm.
I'm one of them.
You're in DG2, right? What's your guys' might up to?
Let me open up Nox. I think I saw earlier that we were around 30 to 40.
Okay, not bad. Do you think all of us together are over 200?
200 mil? Yeah, I think so.
DG1 is closing in on that 100 mil.
How's DG1? Do you guys always have like rallies and shit going on? DG2 definitely does.
They do, but like my dudes are always gathering, so I can never go on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You always have your darkness going though, right?
No, I don't. I like
Oh,
neglected
that's
a
a
lot.
no.
Yeah.
We have 50 mil mine actually.
Nice.
Yeah, we're big guys. They say it in my chat though. I don't like it.
Dude, I tried so hard and I got the treasure trove unlocked. This thing sucks.
Well, yeah, it takes like a month to be efficient.
It's a month. I
Yeah.
put 10,000 gems in, and then in a month I'll get 19,530 out. I'll get 19,000 out. Like,
Yeah.
what the
It's a-
fuck? I tried
it's a
so
meme.
hard and got so far, and it's like a shitty fucking meme.
Yeah. My level 17 castle comes in 8 hours.
Level 17?
Yeah, isn't that what you need for the gem?
Oh,
Level 17.
Yeah, well, time to upgrade my castle. I don't want to be stuck at Mr. Mutant here.
I want to be at Mr. Moon's level. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 6.
How much coal do you have now?
Gold?
Coal.
Coal. Oh, like none? Why?
Oh, I was just wondering.
You have
'cause-
a fuck ton?
No, I don't. I get most of mine, I think, from my like daily guild quests or whatever, or like quests I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
fuck. I don't get like any of that shit. My main dude is level 44. Are you jelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's okay.
Can you tell your DG1ers when? Okay, so I was doing a level 4 vein earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
My dudes finish up. We're bringing it back, and then I'm starting to like. As soon as I'm bringing it back, one of your fucking retards sniped it and like took it over when I was like gonna go back for another load. I almost ended his life. Honestly,
You sound kind of jelly, my dude.
upset. Why is my Steam not starting? Am I hacked?
What is Hadri up to?
I have no idea. I don't even know where he is on the map.
Guys, if you want to join the guild, you have to tell me now in Destiny GG chat. MWD 1029 and I am incognito. Are you guys from Destiny?
Yeah, I am incognito. Tried to join me too, and I asked him who he was. He didn't say anything yet.
Oh shit! I thought that was a guy in chat. I just accepted him. I'm kicking him out. Yeah, because there's like spies and shit that try to get in on this shit now. Fuck.
Me Dinosaur, I am a partner actually.
It's incognito. Wait, is that actually you? Try to join again, and I'll accept you if that's actually you.
No, he's gonna join mine actually.
What is Hadri up to?
If you're asking me, I already answered you.
Oh, what did you say? I didn't hear it.
I didn't. I have no idea.
Oh, fuck you.
The fuck? Oh, there's Steam finally. Oh damn. Hi Twitch chat.
Even my fingers. The body I've lost. The comrades I've lost. It won't stop hurting. It's like they're all still here. You feel it too, don't you? I'm gonna make them give back our past.
I don't know who this MWD guy is. I'm rejecting you. Incognito, I'll take you, buddy.
At the heart of Mass Effect Andromeda is a question. How far will we go? The Mass Effect trilogy is a huge part of our history and the lives of many of our fans.
What day are you leaving for Twitch?
It was an amazing story. But this...
I think on Tuesday is the goal. Maybe Monday, but probably Tuesday.
Good day. I fly in at 8 a.m. on Thursday, so.
Wow.
Get me. I like that meme.
Well, it's because I saw something funny. Might have to make rules against you guys sniping each other's shit, because some of you guys are getting really ass pained about it.
I guess apparently like DG2 is doing it. Adam asked me if I was like telling him to do that shit. I don't see people do that shit. All I know is I wake up and I get a bunch of fucking boxes, so.
Why are we all linking shit memes?
Oh, look at this Halloween stuff. This is crazy.
Oh, this is really funny. I've been looking for this meme for a long time. Thanks for linking, dude.
Oh, look at this Halloween stuff. This is pretty sweet. Kind of spooky.
Can you ready up?
Easy now. If you ain't careful, sex can lead to some terrible things. Herpes, squat rot, or even worse, something called a relationship. That's why I often meet John Gray to find out how to avoid one. Aight?
So what's your opinion on abortion rights or women's reproductive rights?
Yo, I was totally into abortion. I was been responsible for at least 5, so, you know, I was well up for it.
Find out what abortion is! Find out what it is!
So why is you so pro-abortion?
We're not pro-abortion, we're pro-life.
Has you ever had an abortion?
No, I've never had an abortion.
Surely you should try something before you say it is bad.
Oh no, we've known many women that have had an abortion. Yes.
But like, I was very, very anti-Burger King. But then, you know, we went there and we tried the flame-grilled Whopper, and it was like, you know, it was amazing. What be your name?
Father Dean Schultz.
Your respect. Say, is you very anti-abortions because you yourself was aborted?
No, I wasn't aborted.
So you ain't never got a whole preggers? You ain't never got a whole preggers?
No.
So is that because you use connies or does you fire blanks?
This interview is over.
Just don't call it medicine.
Can we ever go on the ladder?
Hear me now, come on, bucket of bus. Hear me now. Free Nelson Mandela! Free Nelson Mandela!
Let's make this clear. You was campaigning to make abortions cheaper. Why is that?
I'm completely against it. I'd like to see Roe versus Wade overturned. Personally, I would wait until I was married to have sex with someone and to...
But what, is you married or not?
No, I'm not married yet.
So what, is you a virgin?
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh, but you're joking.
No.
This is going on telly, you know.
That's great.
Ask me how old I was when I lost my cherry.
Oh, why don't you just tell me?
11 years old, and she was like 24 and a model. And she wanted more. I just didn't want to commit, innit?
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. I do believe.
Abortion.
Deep in my heart.
Abortion.
That we shall overcome someday.
Jump. Nah, you jump. Bitch. Got him.
Bitch. Never.
You've watched Borat, right?
No, I've seen Borat, yeah.
Did you watch the new movie? Or not new, it's not new anymore, but like what
Brother
was...
Grimsby? That one?
Oh shit, what? Is that even newer? What was the last one he did where he was like
Dictator?
a German dude or something? What am I thinking of?
Bruno?
Bruno, yeah.
Oh, I know. I never saw Bruno. I heard Bruno was like, I don't know.
Really shit? Was it really bad?
Well, I was just too young to watch it. It's like really.
Oh shit! You weren't even alive when Borat came out, were you?
Pretty sure it was.
Yeah, maybe. Have you watched the Eric Andre show? I really don't like the Eric Andre show. I legitimately hate it. It's too XD so random for me. Like, I don't know. Looks like we got one guy above us. I can't tell if he's going to school or not.
Yeah, he's going here.
I've watched a couple of... He's coming here, is he?
Yeah, kinda.
I watched like a couple... Oh, are you serious? Of the Eric Andre things? Is that you shooting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But
He's knocked.
Okay. The Eric Andre stuff is like really, really XD random. It's like crazy XD so random. So I don't know.
I don't know. It's not that bad.
Yeah, you would like that kind of humor. I know. It's okay, Mr.
I don't
Man.
go to my way to watch the
No,
show.
you do. You
What's the
probably
one that
do.
you like, Nathan For You?
Yeah.
That show's pretty funny. I like that show.
I watched a 5-minute thing on YouTube yesterday about
Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Oh, it was him with the Uber
Send me
episode.
a kiss by
has
wire.
Has that episode, like the full
Baby,
episode,
my
aired yet?
heart's on fire.
I don't think
if
I've
you
seen that one yet.
refuse me, honey, you lose
Holy
me,
shit.
and you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone, and tell me I'm your own.
Oh, somebody subbed you. Hold on, let me get their name. Wow, Lex Fernanda. Thanks for subbing.
If you want to find Hadri, look for the giant floating Arabic castle southeast of our base. Wait, really?
Yeah, he paid like $20 for the skin. I'm gonna look for it. I've never seen it.
I haven't either.
Is he in the big like crowd of everybody?
I don't know. They said in the southeast.
Oh, I see.
Do you see it? Is it memey as fuck?
It's pretty memey. He's got 12 mil mic.
Hello.
Chords are 247.
Chords are what, like X247?
Yeah. Damn, he's got 12 mil might. He's got like a fourth of our might.
247, 245?
Or 345. I'm sorry.
Holy shit. Okay, 345. I don't. Oh.
That's it. It's just a random like Arabic castle. It's hanging out. I like that.
Interesting. Okay.
Backed it.
Yeah, Hadri's like 1/4 of that guild.
Yeah.
We need to roll him into DGG1.
Get him to DG2. Do not say my name ever again. Lex Fernanda.
Natsumi says that her guild is getting like hardcore bullied in their world. She said she might come to ours. At first I thought their guild was really big, but now I think their guild is really small.
How big is it?
They're like 230 mil, I think.
Oh.
Which is compared to how
Pretty
many
small.
days they've been. Yeah.
we're on the
DG1
line.
is coming up to 100 mil. Like we'll be at 200 mil in a week for sure. And they've
I feel
been.
like the might comes quicker the bigger you get, right?
Of course, the first
Yeah.
100K is going to be a lot harder to get. Like than, yeah.
We're gonna own this world.
there's
Have you
a-
noticed nobody's been fucking with us?
I'm pretty sure he was AFK, but I got the kill anyway. Yeah, not yet. We're gonna. So you can get up to level 5. Is that correct? Towards the middle.
I don't know what that question is.
In the middle, you know how we moved to like a level 4 area, so we're finding level 3s and
Oh,
level 4s.
yeah.
You can go up to 5. Yeah, we're gonna go to that
Oh, I
middle.
didn't know that there
We're
were
gonna
5, yeah.
fuck that blue donut up. We're gonna fucking annihilate everything there, dude. People are gonna be like, "Oh God, how many teams is this? How many guilds are they?" And it's gonna be just DGG. That's it. The one guild against the world. I need that guy to email me back though, because I'm pretty sure my fucking guild members are spending like thousands of dollars on this fucking game. I don't know what we're doing in here. It's probably all been looted, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you shooting?
I saw one outside.
Like
he was running 60. He's going behind the building. Yeah, he's running directly your way, going behind the building. I hit him twice.
Okay, chill.
Yeah, I'm first aiding.
Would have been nice if you'd.
He's moving up on me to the left.
Why are you not telling me that he's like right here in the schoolyard?
I mean, that's kind of the assumption, right? When
I
shoot
don't
from the
know.
top
You just
window,
like
and
start
then I say,
shooting.
yeah,
I'm like
he's going-
running in that direction. It's all right. You always need to
going
be
out the
moving in
building.
front of me, okay? That needs to be like the new rule, okay? Because when you're
Well,
behind
no,
me, I
he
get
was
like
going-
hella
what do you-
triggered.
Why are you jumping out then? Why
Because
you
I said like let's go to the apps. I start running, and then you like start shooting at like some random shit. I'm like, okay, I don't know if you're shooting at some dude, and then you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
and then
he's
I
at
say,
like
yeah, he's
60.
running to the left of the build. He's 60 running to the left of the
Yeah,
building.
but like,
He
why
just
not
went
like
around.
give me some urgency? Like, yo, you're running right into an enemy. Like, there's a guy like right over there.
I didn't see you out there. I just
Okay, that's
assumed
fine, okay.
that you were gonna be in the building and not being a fucking retard, run into the apps immediately like a spurg. Just
I didn't
loot
know
for
that
a
we
sec.
needed. Well, there was nothing to loot. The school building had
Yeah,
been
well,
looted.
I found something. I found an energy drink.
Okay.
You suck, baby Bunty.
I'm about to leave you for Bunty. That's what's about to happen.
Yeah, it's it. I welcome it.
Good job, Mythic. Tear into him. What did he say? Do you need? Is Mythic getting mod for that?
He said, "Why are you always saying swears?"
Okay, never mind. That's pretty funny. Oh no, Aaron's making fucking salmon today. God damn it, I have to try to eat it.
Oh, you don't like fish?
I can. If it's seasoned really well, I'll try it, I guess.
Daily reminder chat. Destiny will never going to do Witcher 3 DLC. Oh me dog.
Look at how early Mr. Mooten jumped. Salmon has a really, really, really good texture to it. It just needs to be seasoned more for me, because I don't like the salmon-y flavor of just like the salmon. But it's like, it's very, very, very tender. Holy shit.
I'm not going for the roof, by the way.
Yeah, leave that to the master.